Hello everyone, this is Miss Peachy again from WCA Biology B. Here we are in Unit 4, Lesson 4, Ecological Hierarchy. So this is a very short lesson. It's only 3 slides, only 1 slide of information. I feel like that this is an intro kind of to something else. And I'm going to add a little bit to this as well, just to make it a little bit more understandable. They don't really go through key terms, but they are listed in bold. So we have organism, ecosystems, biome, community, ecological hierarchy levels, population, and they talk about, and then biosphere is listed down here as well. So it talks about how you can kind of understand how things are related to each other within the world, essentially. And it does talk about the objective is you will develop and use models to illustrate examples of ecological hierarchy levels, but it never specifically spells out what those hierarchy levels are. And I feel like that's kind of a missing component to this lesson. So I have added this graphic here. I borrowed this graphic from Google to give you that information. So just like living things can be classified into, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, the community of living things, the world and all the living things in it can also be categorized in a similar type of way using this ecological hierarchy method. The largest classification group here is biosphere. So this is part of the earth that supports life. Talking about living on land, living in the water, doesn't matter. That's included in the biosphere. From the biosphere, we go with biome, and biome is a large regional area with the same climate and vegetation throughout. We generally categorize biomes based on like the amount of their climate, their climate, which is precipitation and temperature averages. And that gives rise to a specific type of vegetation, organisms that kind of reside within that biome. Then we have ecosystems. So an ecosystem is all the living things, all the different types of organisms that live there, along with the abiotic factors that affect them. So abiotic means non-living factors, things like the amount of sunlight they receive, the amount of rainfall, the pH of the water, the soil type. I mean, there's so many different abiotic factors that you can think of when you brainstorm what abiotic factors are found within an ecosystem. Community are just the living things in that ecosystem. So all the populations of living things. And now you can break those down into populations because you've got groups that are all the same species. So all the gray squirrels, these are one population. You can see the population of white-tailed deer. If you look at the population of red oak trees. So those are all specific species there's a group of them that lives in the same ecosystem. And then we have individual organisms that make up the ecosystem as well. Chucky the squirrel, that guy. He's one individual. He's one gray squirrel. He lives in the ecosystem. Maybe he's been tagged at some point. They probably put a little ear tag on him and it says Chucky. More often it's some sort of number, but that's a specific organism that is found as a member of the population, which is part of a community, which is part of a larger ecosystem, and that ecosystem is a type of biome, and it's all found on the earth somewhere in this living part we call the biosphere. So that is essentially what I believe the intent, I guess, of this lesson is. And I'm not sure if I would say that it did a fantastic job. It mentions all these words, but it doesn't really give us, like, I think that level of just spelling it out for you. So again, 3 slides, just understanding the different levels of organization in living things, how they live and who they interact with. And there's a couple of question slides, but that's pretty much the gist of this lesson. I guess you know the drill. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.